everyone, welcome back. We are going to try something fun today. We're going to make a little batch of birdies. I did do a first round of this and I was really pleased, and I'll show you that a little later. So we're going to give it a second try on some nicer paper. I did it on sort of my not as nice paper the first time just to be sure. Now the way you're going to get started, and maybe I'll try and get this a little closer up for you so you might be able to see it better. And you'll see that what we've got here are some little pencil sketched out shapes. And what you have is a heart and an oval with a little line and a little line, a little longer line. And that is your basic shape that you're going to use for your bird. Seems very simple. Nothing complicated. Anybody can draw that. And then we're going to take our sticky little eraser here and we're going to lighten that up because we don't really want those lines to show later. Okay, so let's get started. So the first color I want to make is I'm going to take some of my burnt umber, take a good bit of that burnt umber, and I'm going to mix that with a little burnt sienna because I want a sort of I want a brown, but I don't want it to be that dark, as dark as that burnt umber. So that makes us sort of a medium brown. And we're going to paint in our circles and our hearts with this nice medium brown that we've made. Get my smaller brush, get some black on that. And I just want to put some splotches of black. You want to do it when it's damp but not too wet because you don't want it to run too much. But you want them to run a little so they look a little more natural. Next we're going to give our little fellow a beak. Now where you place the eye and whether you give him one or two eyes depends on which way he's looking. In this case, all my birds are sort of at an angle where we're really only seeing one side of their heads. And so you're already starting to look now like a bird. So our next stage is we want some gray. So what I've got is some black that I've watered down a bit, and I did add a tiny bit of white into my black mix just to help ensure it would be a nice gray. Guess I could have found a gray paint, but that's not what I had. We're going to start in the chinny chin of the bird, and then sort of put in the belly of our bird. Just a light gray wash. Okay, for this next part, while our birdies are finishing drying, we want to sort of work with our sky. So we get a big brush out for this. And we're gonna get some blue going over here. Then we're gonna wanna make it into a wash. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to do some wet on wet. So I'm going to get my brush wet with just water. Pick a section of the canvas, and I'm going to do this one section at a time because I want the paper to stay wet while I'm working. And I want to get in as close as I can to our bird without touching our bird. And then we're going to take some of that blue and we're just going to wash it into that wet. goodness, I forgot to put their tail feathers in. All right, well, we're going to put a little more sky in here, and then we got to put their tail feathers in. Silly me. No tail feathers. What? Okay. I'll finish my sky. Now we're going to let this dry a little bit, and then we'll be back. Okay, this is mainly dry now. And what I did is I took my pencil and very lightly, I've put in some lines for where I want my main tree branch to go so that my birdies have somewhere to sit. And I mixed up a nice dark brown. It's got a little black in it. And so we're going to just start just sort of an outline of where I want that branch and how thick I want it. enough. I'm going to let this dry, and then I'll let you have a little close-up. So here's the final results of my little birdies. I think they're really cute. I was very pleased, and I put them in this nice little frame so they can sit and tweet. And just so you can see, I have the first ones that I did, which you didn't see me paint, but they were fun. And the branches went a little differently on that one, and they're also in a nice little frame now. And then there's this little guy who's sitting all by his little lonesome on a note card, but he was fun too. I hope you enjoyed this and you saw how easily it is to paint something simple without a whole lot of drawing skill necessary. If you did enjoy this, please give me a thumbs up, leave me a comment, subscribe to my channel, and hit that notification bell so you know when I upload more videos. Now, this is part of Friday with Friends, and this week we have our new team member, Jonny Dark with Dark Art Creatorium. Then after him, you should have seen Bill with Roberson Art, and after me is Billy with BCC Arts Studios. I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a wonderful weekend. Thank you for joining us.